What nobody tells you after you leave the USA is that the hardest part has nothing to do with leaving. We made the move, we did it, and those first few months felt exactly like we thought they were going to.
New city, new energy, new life. Honestly, I felt like we'd finally figured something out.
And then something happened that none of the videos we watched prepared us for. It wasn't the cost, it wasn't the paperwork, it wasn't the language, it was actually something much quieter than that. And once I explain it, you're going to understand immediately, whether you've made the move or are still considering it. We came here for the same reasons a lot of people do. A better life, a slower pace, better weather, lower costs, and more freedom. We had a simple version in our heads.
Street food, a smaller place, nothing we don't need. We kept saying, we'll keep it light. We'll finally have room to breathe.
And at first, the dream feels real. Everything is new, everything is interesting, and even the inconveniences still feel like part of the adventure.
And in those first few months, you feel like you figured something out that other people haven't.
You look at your life and you think, why didn't we do this sooner? It's like you escaped everything. It felt like we won.
And then the snowbird community around you goes home for the summer.
And the trip ends, and real life starts, and that's when the first surprises really start to hit. Nobody tells you how much of a normal life is invisible structure. Back in the US, your day is already built before you even think about it. Routines, errands, friends, places you always go, people you can call without thinking twice. Then you move, and all of that is just gone.
And for us, it wasn't loneliness exactly. There were two of us. It was something quieter than that. We'd wake up, sit around, look at each other, drink coffee, check the time, drink more coffee.
We didn't want to call the kids again. We didn't want to be the people who always need something. So we'd just wait. Wait for the city to open up. Wait for a normal time to leave. Wait for happy hour to start. Wait for life to start.
We didn't feel lonely, we just didn't have a life yet. That's a completely different feeling.
And it's a hard one to fix because there's nothing you can exactly point to. Like, the move went well, everything is fine. You're just waiting. Here's why that matters. Every problem that then comes up just starts to feel heavier than it should. Back home, most of daily life is automatic. You don't notice how many things you do without thinking, until even the easiest stuff just stops being easy. I remember standing in the grocery store. I wanted a grilled ham and cheese sandwich, so I just wanted some ham. Jamón de pavo y cerdo, Virginia. Jamón de pierna. Jamón de pavo, Virginia. I just wanted ham!
I didn't know either. I just pretended I did.
And I know that sounds like absolutely nothing, but in that moment, it kind of hits you. We don't really know how to live here yet. Now stack that across an entire day. One errand becomes your whole afternoon. One form becomes 3, something closes early, someone sends you to another office, or you have to come back tomorrow. It's not one big problem. It's hundreds of small ones. And once in a while, a small one becomes a big one. Lose your driver's license back home? No big deal. You go to the MVD and you get a new one in a couple days. Lose your residency card here. Now you need to file a police report. You need baby dealing with the embassy. Heck, your whole residency might be in question. That changes the mental math entirely. It's not just that things work differently here. It's that one mistake here can be extremely costly. Yes, you can live here cheap. That part is very true. But the version of life that is truly cheap is usually not the version you actually want once this becomes your real life.
In your head, it sounds so good. Street food every day, no AC, minimal everything. Like you finally shed all the excess.
But then your body enters the conversation. You want to sleep well. You want airflow. You want a place that smells clean instead of damp. You want a decent mattress. You want to go to the gym because you know how much better you feel when you go. You want a building where small issues don't become projects. The second you start wanting these things, the cost gets higher. A lot higher. Someone told us something early on that didn't make much sense to us then, but makes perfect sense now. Life in the US is convenient, but it's not easy. Life here is easy, but it is not convenient. And once that clicked, everything started to make sense. Cheap is easy. Comfort is where the bills start to show up. The life we imagined wasn't wrong. It was just incomplete. And when the cost story changes, at the same time that friction starts to build, that's when the fourth thing happens. And this one is the hardest to explain. There's usually no big fight, no dramatic moment, no one thing that you can point to. It's just the accumulation of everything. Humidity, bugs, noise, visa stress, language friction, small misunderstandings, small delays, small decisions that take more energy than they should, day after day.
And you keep telling yourself, I'm adjusting, I'll figure it out, and you believe it. But what I didn't expect was how tired I'd feel even on the days when nothing went wrong.
That's what burnout actually looks like. A fade. You don't have some big breakdown. You burn out slowly, quietly. And one day you realize you're less patient, you're less curious, and less willing to deal with the small things. And this is why a lot of people return back to the US. It's not the country did anything wrong. It's not that their dream was wrong, but because nobody warned them that this part was coming, once it hit them, they didn't have the tools to deal with it.
And we almost left.
And somewhere in the middle of it, we realized something else.
If you came here trying to get away from something, it follows you. Whatever you were carrying back home shows up here too. Same weight, different language, different address.
So you stop thinking of it as running away from something, and you realize you've got to ask yourself a completely different question. What kind of life do we actually want to live here? Not what did we escape, but what are we building? For us, the answer didn't come from some big breakthrough. It came from something ordinary. We found something to do, a place to go, people to see more than once. For us, that was pickleball.
And honestly, at first, I wasn't even sure I wanted to go. I just wanted a reason to leave the apartment. But then we started seeing the same faces. People started knowing our names. We started having plans. That sounds so small, but it changed everything.
Because routine is the story. Community is the story. Having somewhere to be, that is the story. Not because the country suddenly got easier, but because our life finally started making sense inside it. You don't find happiness first and then build a life. You first build a life, and happiness finds a place to land.
That's the part I wish someone told us before we moved.
So no, this isn't don't do it. And it's definitely not expat life is secretly miserable. I still think that leaving the US can be one of the best decisions some people make. I know it was for us. I just know that the better version of life isn't waiting for you, fully built the moment you land. It has to be made. And it'll ask more from you than you think. More patience, more flexibility, a lot more humility, more than most YouTube videos will ever admit. Because it's not a fantasy anymore, it's a life. But that doesn't make the dream fake. It makes it real. Because it's not a fantasy anymore, it's life. There is a better life here. Trust me, we're living it every day. It's just not the life that we pictured when we left. It's not because the country fixes you. It's not because you outran your problems. It's not because everything is magically lighter. It gets better because you adapt. Because you choose your trade-offs more carefully. Because you build routines. Because you find your people. Because one day, the place that felt strange starts to feel like yours.
The dream isn't fake. It's just incomplete when you arrive.
The life here that you want doesn't exist when you land. You have to build it. And if you want to see what pickleball's like here in Mazatlan and the different options at the club, check out this next video. And if you like this video, well, you know what to do.